Welcome to the 52 Love Podcast, your show for 52 lessons in 52 weeks. Before we dive in, remember you can find the audio version of this episode, along with the rest of the series, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and Radio Public. And now, here's your host, Ms. Tonya Todd.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the 52 Love Podcast. I'm your host, Tonya Todd. 52 Love began as a blog series last year, 52 Love Lessons in 52 Weeks. This year, we are exploring each of those tips with a new guest each week. This week's tip is to unplug with your partner and spend some time alone without electronic devices interrupting your time. And here to talk about it is my guest, Shay. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am a woman of multiple things, but one thing I would like to let you all know that I am a podcaster. My podcast is What's Coming Out of Your Mouth podcast, which is how me and Miss Tonya linked.
Yes.
I am also a boutique owner and work with mental health individuals. So, and a mother and a wife, of course, since we're talking about the love. So multi-layered person, but yeah. I'm excited.
It really sounds like all those things are based in love, being a mother, being a wife, helping patients, and your podcast too, like paying attention to what is coming out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
So when I was on your podcast, we kind of talked about mine, and in doing so, I mentioned this tip, and you said you liked the idea of this one. What were the things you liked about it?
I like the idea of actually putting in the practice of unplugging and spending more time with your partner. And it was just perfect that it was for September, which is my anniversary month. Our anniversary is on the 27th. So every year leading up to our anniversary, we try to do a fast or something to kind of just strengthen our bond as a couple. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be, fitting to do disconnect to reconnect.
And so how did it go?
It went well. I thought it was going to be hard because we are all connected to our devices. So I had to really be strategic and come up with something that we could do. So really watching a movie and saying, okay, we're going to concentrate on the movie and cuddling and being up on each other, that really helped versus just us normally just watching the movie as we would do. Then looking at the phone on some parts of the movie and all that. So it went well. I think we should do it more often.
That's an adorable voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're right. People should do it more frequently because our devices, while they do connect us with things in the outside world, they kind of distract from our day-to-day, like the things that we should be focused on more.
Absolutely. And, with us being so distracted by our electronic devices, we lose that connection and lose that little time to reconnect to our partner and really see how each other is doing. So I think it's really good to at least probably practice it once a month.
Yeah, that's a great idea. How did he take it when you suggested getting rid of the devices?
He took it well because, like I said, every year I try to come up with something leading up into our anniversary so that we can reconnect.
So he's open to trying new things.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. He knows we're both connected to our phones, probably me more so than him, but he, it's just the new world. So we really need to do that more often and for longer periods of time. Mm-hmm. We only did it for just a movie, but we need to do like a day. Okay, tell him, hey, now go back. Sit down.
Hi.
Yeah,
So what movie did you watch?
We watched a series, Power, Raising Canaan. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so we actually caught up on the last 2 episodes. So it's about 2 hours or so.
And now, do you think that affected your enjoyment of the show as well?
It definitely did because, like I said, we're usually watching it and then on the phone at the same time. So now I actually am caught up and I know what all was going on versus just seeing little bits and pieces. And saying, what happened? What did they just say?
Right. Like, what did I miss?
Fully invested. Yeah, I was fully invested in the show and us having that time. They had a little love making scene. We got our little feels in and all that. Yeah. So, it was really worth it.
So you enjoyed your snuggle time?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bonus, right?
Yes, of course.
So you wear so many hats. Why don't you start telling us about some of those hats and how you got started with them? Let's start with your podcast.
Well, with my podcast, like you said, I guess the love of people and wanting to be a motivator and an inspiration to a lot of people, I felt like a podcast would be a perfect way to reach the masses, people you don't see every day, because it's up to them to find a podcast and say, this is an interesting topic. Let me chime in and see. And it really just blossomed from us just want to do something to doing it every week. So I'm just excited. And then the feedback, of course, it helps keeping it going because it's actually doing what it's designed to do. So that
how'd you come
aspect,
up with that
that's
topic?
the topic or the name of it.
What the name of the show, like the essence of the show, the theme?
We just kind of just went over a few names and, try to figure out something that was catchy and that, kind of fit us. Cause, I'm one half of the podcast, me and my brother. So we just had a few names to ask some family members. And when we found what's coming out of your mouth, we're like, okay, that it makes sense. And we just kind of settled on that. So, yeah.
It's about setting a good example too, though, right? Like what is coming out of your mouth?
Exactly. And we're getting on here telling you, how to change your thinking and different things like that. So it starts with your thinking and the things that you're saying, because,
Right.
your tongue is very powerful. So whatever's coming out of your mouth kind of manifests in reality. So you have to really be cautious of what's coming out of your mouth. So,
yes.
It makes sense.
It really does.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us about your other hats.
So, being a boutique owner, I am a plus size woman and I practice or preach body positivity. And being a boutique owner, although it allows me to reach women and show them how to be confident within themselves and sell them some merchandise to revamp their wardrobe. So I use that platform to reach the different women. So it kind of all go hand in hand. But my boutique is geared towards women, some men, shop. We have some unisex items. So that helps me reach and motivate. Same thing I'm doing on the podcast, but just in a retail experience, I guess you could say. And so that's the boutique. I do that. And of course, being a mom, my daughter is about 2.5. And I'm so excited about being a mother. It was a struggle to even get pregnant, so many miscarriages and all different things like that. So my husband and I we had 10 years of loving and being connected with each other before our baby came. So now it's like, okay, we're focusing on being a parent. So this is going to be our 13th anniversary on September 27th. So
wow, happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I just
what's the name of the boutique? I don't think you said the name.
The name of it is Godfidence Glam Fashion. And so Godfidence is the same thing because, you may not know, but I love Jesus. So I think God got to be the head of everything. And so, but I also want to put confidence in there too. So just to merge those two things that I'm really passionate about to get the Godfidence. And the glam is the accessories and different things like that. And the fashion is the clothing. And I do styling services. So if people need help with putting looks together, I do that as well. So
yeah, so we were just talking about how if you lived here, I wouldn't be so hair challenged.
Yeah, exactly. And I do hair too. Yeah, I guess I'm just a Jane of all trades. So yeah, I do a little hair too.
And you have the wordplay in there too, like coming up with a name like that. Not many people can be that clever. Like I wouldn't have thought of that.
Thank you.
Maybe there's a writer in there, huh?
Well, yes. I guess a book in there. It's in the works, but it's just taking forever. As you can see, my focus is so divided. So, maybe the book will come in a few years.
So have you actually written any of it?
Well, I'm starting with a journal, and then I think that's going to lead into the book because the book is a lot of layers. Unless I write like a short story, I don't know. I'm thinking of it, but I haven't written anything.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
I have many stories that I have not begun writing, but they're working, like they're there. I might have like
Yes.
thousands of words in notes on the stories, but I haven't actually started writing the story, you know?
Same. I have many journals of different little tidbits here and there.
Hmm.
So it'll come together. I at least I want to write one. So I know it's gonna come together. But I also want to write a book on having fertility issues and different things
Hmm.
like that because that is a big thing. And since I experienced that, why not write about my experience
Right.
to motivate somebody?
And I'm sure
Yes,
that there are
ma'am.
people who could use a story like that. In fact, I'm writing a
Yeah,
book right now about a woman who went through several miscarriages and has one
really.
healthy child. Yeah. So it's like, oh, is it rude to ask her to be a beta reader when it's ready?
No, ask me. I would love to do that.
It's not an
I
experience
would
I've
love to
had,
do
but I
that.
do have a lot of compassion for. And then, you know, sometimes the characters just manifest in a certain way. It's not like I decided this was her life. She told me, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're writing the book. Is your book or is her book?
Well, it's her book.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
so you're like a ghostwriter?
no. I'm saying that the character, like it's a character,
Oh,
and she just talks to me. It's no one I've actually
oh,
met other than in the way that she speaks to me as the muse, you know.
oh my word, I love that.
I was like, oh, I'm not talking to a writer. She thinks I'm crazy.
Oh no, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. And
So,
I
you know,
love
I
that.
try to say it's my book, but when the characters are talking to you and they're taking over and they're saying, well, that's not really how it happened. Okay, well, you just tell me then, you know,
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I would
I
love
am
to
the
connect with you
fingers.
on
That's
that.
it.
That is awesome. So is this gonna be your first book or
No,
no?
it's the second one that I will. It's the second one that I put this kind of effort into. Like I have many stories that I've worked on, but this is the second one I've decided, all right, now I'm going to start this one and write it from beginning to end.
That's awesome. I need to really do it. Do you participate in I think it's NaNoWriMo?
That's how I started this one last
Yeah.
last November. That was when I we're not supposed to be interviewing me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yes.
Well, it's your show.
I did participate last year for the first time and you know it was the second time and it was the same story. So it's like this
Mm.
time I really did it and stuck with it. And I developed a writing habit of every day at the same time I'm working on this story unless I'm on set. And it's made a huge difference and it's making progress. And I aim to be finished by Halloween, like
Wow.
with the first, you know, decent
Draft.
draft. Because when you're writing for NaNoWriMo, it's just ugly words all over the page.
Oh
So just get the
yeah.
words on there.
Yeah. That's how
But
I
we
started
should
with the
connect. We
journal.
should connect on NaNoWriMo so that we can encourage each other.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I never finished, but I would like to.
That's
So
okay. You
having
just
a
need to put the words down,
motivator.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got a lot of things coming.
Who knew?
Right.
Well, we knew we were entrepreneurs. That's how we met, right? And you
Yes,
invited me
ma'am.
on your show. What do you think it
Absolutely.
is that drives you to do so much? Like, I mean, you know, there are tons of people who spend their days just watching television and flipping through their phones. You don't do that. You work toward helping so many other people. You have your own business, you have your own podcast, and then you're also helping people.
Yeah, I just think that my main goal is to make people happy. I'm sorry. Hold on. There goes my
And on
she
that
up
note,
there biting me. My main goal. Okay, mama, it's okay.
that's okay. Kids are a part of relationships too.
Yes, and they bite you while you're on a podcast.
Oh,
But I love to see people just to evolve into their best self. And so if that means helping them build their confidence, if that means inspiring them to do something that they've been thinking about doing, that
hmm.
means motivating them to just take a chance on something, that makes me happy. And so I feel like that's kind of like my life's purpose is to help people get to the next level in whatever capacity that they need me. And so in my mind, I use the podcast to do that. I use my boutique to do that. I use styling or fashion, like everything that I like. I find people who are interested in that and motivate them in some kind of way through that avenue. So that what motivates me. That makes me happy. And I
That's
mean,
wonderful.
I don't know.
How
So,
how long have you been doing this kind of work?
well, I think I've been this person forever, my whole life. But my podcast has been going on. I think this is the third year that we have the podcast. I've been
Mhm.
doing the boutique probably about that amount of time. It just have evolved from what it started out as. So, well, maybe a little longer, maybe about 4 or 5 years. Within the last, I'll say 5 years, I really started going after the things that I want to have going on in order to
Mhm.
reach different audiences. So I would say within the last
And
5 years.
speaking of reaching audiences, let us know, when does your podcast air? What are the different topics? Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, the podcast is live every Tuesday on Facebook Live, and we also once it's done, it's streaming on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you stream, it's streaming on there. We are on Instagram as well, but you get the little snippets on Instagram. We
Right.
talk about relationships, we talk about mindsets, we talk about different things that's going on in the culture, and the hot topics, social media, all that good stuff. But our main focus is relationships because we're both married and we both were young married individuals. And so,
Mhm.
a lot of people are not thinking about getting married, being young nowadays. So we just want to motivate them, let them know that marriage can work. You just have to work at it. And so we
Right.
talk a lot on relationships, and I talk a lot on, I do one-on-one with women and women groups on body positivity or women
Mhm.
bosses because I love meaning I'm a woman boss. I love talking to other women bosses about whatever they have going on because we don't celebrate our women enough. So
I
I do
have some
one-on-one.
recommendations for you. I'm going to connect you with some women bosses.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I do the one-on-one and they're not scheduled. They're just whenever I feel like okay, I need to talk to some women and get their business out there. Or if I just see them on social media, doing really well,
Mhm.
I'll, ask them if they like to come on and we do that. But mainly just the weekly with our regular show. So yeah, I really enjoy it. And I think that I was not a public speaker. And
Mhm.
so this having a podcast was actually a way for me to work on being a public speaker. So it has helped a lot. And I really enjoy it. I really do.
It's wonderful that you're doing what you love and that you're helping people while you do it.
Yes, ma'am. That's the goal.
And your boutique, is that something that people can only buy things in person, or is there a website where people can buy things online as well?
It is a website. The website is godforthisglamfashion.com. Um, we do pop-up shops and different things like that, but it's mainly online.
Okay.
So as of right now.
So it's
So
not a brick and mortar store. It is an
it's
online
not a brick
store.
and
Okay.
mortar. It's online. Yes, ma'am. Online
Well, that's
store.
better for those of us who are not in the same city.
Absolutely. And then, with the pandemic and crazy stuff going on right now, it's even better. But I do hope to one day have a brick and mortar, at least one, maybe more. But right now we're just all online and I do different events around the area in different states. So that's just about it right now.
Well, tell the audience the best place for people to find you and support your work and to watch your show, all of it, because I know you have a lot of social media that you could post. Let them know here and now, and I will also post it in the show notes for you.
Okay. On Facebook, you can find Godfidence Glam Fashion. You can search God GLAM dot fashion. Just a minute, baby. And also on Facebook, you can find What's Coming Out of Your Mouth. That's the podcast page. We're on Instagram, the same names on Instagram at god.glam.fashion and What's Coming Out of Your Mouth on Instagram as well. The website again is godfidenceglamfashion.com. Streaming, just search What's Coming Out of Your Mouth. You can find us there. We're also on YouTube, What's Coming Out of Your Mouth podcast.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for trying this tip and for sharing your experience with it. I'm glad you enjoyed it and that you're going to start implementing it once a month, because I think that that's, it works so much better if you do it frequently. And it doesn't need to be an
I
every night
agree.
thing, but it should be regular. It doesn't need to be every day.
Yes,
Hi.
agree.
And thank
Okay,
you
Arthur.
everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And please give Shay some love in the comments. Let her know that you enjoyed her appearance on the show, and make sure you go subscribe to her show as well. That's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Just remember to treat love like a verb.